Okay, as the lighthouse or stewardship center, the one who makes contact, it is your job to make sure that your utility companies have been called and your power lines or utility lines have been clearly marked. So that's the big thing that you need to do beforehand. Ensure that your utility lines are marked. Second thing you're going to be doing is looking for the most sunlight. Where is the most probable place to put the 10 by 10 plot? So that's purely going to be up to the homeowner and the lighthouse as far as what best practices should be used based on what scenario they want to go with: partial shade, full sun, or full shade. So again, that is the lighthouse position or stewardship center, is to make contact and figure out exactly where everything is going to go firsthand. Next step is going to be marking out your 10-foot perimeter. Your 10-foot grid, you want to make sure that you are south facing. So you can use your maps and look up your true north and turn the other way. We want to be south facing to get as much sunlight as possible. Once you have your perimeter marked, you're going to go ahead and come in every 2 feet and put a stake down. That's going to be your paths for your walkways and your actual roads. Now we have successfully used some yarn to identify our rows versus our walkways. Also, make sure that you do not cut your rope off because you will be using this. So sustainability, keep it tied on so you can use it again. Now we're ready to excavate. Also, the role of the lighthouse or stewardship center could possibly be having the compost prepared and ready. Okay, the double dig method. Step one is to use your spaded shovel and dig down as far as you can into the clay soil to remove it. You're typically going to get 6 to 8 inches. The spaded shovel is about 12 inches long, so that's kind of our non-standardized unit of measurement. So we're looking to get it down as far as we can. The double dig method is specifically used for heavy clay soils. So if you're in another area with a different soil structure, you might not need to do this. But again, this is for our Atlanta residents who are going to be participating in the Roots initiative. We're going to have to excavate. There is no adding things on top to clay soil. We're going to go ahead and use this double dig method.
This is hibiscus, cinnamon, and oranges, and a little turmeric sugar.
Okay, so this is what the step one completion should look like. This soil was a little tougher, so it was a little harder to work. But at last we started to excavate and basically pull all the old dirt out. Just to add in a little detail, you should have one person, if you are the lighthouse, doing the instruction and you are doing the hands-on. You should be working on one row, and then the other 2 people should be on their own rows, so that way the lighthouse is not overwhelmed with labor, and then you're allowing people to actually add in the value of using the shovel, using the tools, and letting them get that hands-on training that we know is much needed in this field. So do not cripple your crew by doing all the work if you already know what's being done. Stick to one bed and let the other people handle the other 2. Okay, step number 2 for the double dig. You're going to use your spaded shovel again, if you can, and go ahead down another 6 to 8 inches. This clay soil again was very compact. We did not water it the day before, so we had to use our pickaxe, which is not uncommon. It was just way more difficult than usual, but that's what the pickaxe is for, especially again dealing with this clay soil. And the double dig method is typically a useful tool to have around. So again, we're going to break up the soil as much as we can with the pickaxe, and even go back through with the spaded shovel to kind of get a little bit more. But the goal is to get the depth of 6 to 8 inches. So whatever you have to do to get the depth, that's what we have to do. So use all your tools wisely. Okay, our last step is to fill our beds with our agricultural grade compost. If you do have shredded leaves, definitely you can stretch your compost out by adding a 2-to-1 ratio of compost to leaves. And so, again, that would just stretch it out a little bit more and make it easier for when it breaks down. But definitely after you've put your soil in, go ahead and follow your planting guide for whatever style of plants you're using: full shade, partial sun, or full sun.